So this is James, fresh out of Colorado. He just got back from vacation. Uh, there you are, James.
He's a realtor. But
Yeah. James, can you hear me okay?
I sure can.
Wonderful. So, James, just kind of tell us what market you're in.
Sure, I'm in the Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia market. And so Montgomery County, Arlington, McLean, Fairfax County. So D.C. and the suburbs.
And you got licensed in what year?
I was first licensed in 2007, but wasn't active really until 2020.
Wow, you got a good run.
Yeah, yeah. During those times, I worked in like real estate development, property management, commercial mortgage brokerage, that kind of thing.
Right. But you got your license in 2020 and kind of said, the world needs another realtor, and that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I had my DC license in 2007, and then in 2017 I got Maryland and Virginia, and then in 2020 I decided the world needed another active realtor.
Right. Well, in Florida, everybody and their brother has two or three licenses. So very good. Thank you for helping us lead the call here today.
Thanks for
And
having me.
and so, guys, we have leaders called thoroughbred leaders, and um, and that's what James is one of our thoroughbred leaders, and GP is as well. And I'm hoping that Geronimo, Caesar, um, Julie, Sean, everybody can eventually become a leader in here, which means you're really knocking it out.
To your marketing and skill in any.
Hey, can you mute? There you go. Um, so you guys, just do me a favor, mute your side in case your dog barks. But if you have a question, just put it in the chat box. We want to get to your questions while we're on this call. Uh, so, so James, just kind of unpack. Did you know any estate liquidators? Um, you know, over the last well, before we met.
Before we met, I didn't know any estate liquidators, and I knew some probate attorneys, but never thought of them as sources of business.
Mhm. And so to get started, at the end, the call wasn't start to call your probate attorney. It'd be like, that's the last thing we wanted you to do.
That's right.
And why is that?
Well, relationships matter. How you're introduced matters. And being introduced to a probate attorney is um, much stronger than cold calling. Because, like you all, you probably receive 10 cold calls a day for various things, and your immediate reaction is defensive. And it works a lot better if you have someone introducing you.
And when you said you didn't know any estate liquidators, but you met with one recently, how did you even find her?
So with the estate liquidator, I did find her online, and I that was a cold call, because the goal was to be introduced to probate attorneys. And so I did an AI search, who are the top 10 estate liquidators in my area. And I think I called about five of them.
Hmm.
And this particular estate liquidator said, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's meet." And so we had coffee, and I really focused on learning about her business and how I could support her business.
So you did an AI search. You got about 10 estate liquidators in your marketplace. You reached five by the phone. This was, I think you spoke to her like on a Tuesday. And then the reason I asked you that, how many days did it take before you got to sit down with her?
Later that week,
Yeah, I think it was
so
a Thursday because you
yeah,
called me.
Thursday, I think it
Yeah,
was. Yeah,
yeah, you were in the parking lot and you
that's
said, I'm
right.
going to go meet with her in about 5 or 10 minutes. And it was
That's
last
right.
minute coaching thoughts and tell me what you're going to do. And which is like, I want you guys to know we'll do that for you. And that means if you're sitting in a parking lot and you're getting ready to go in for now, ideally you set a meeting up in advance, but if you want to help before you're sitting down with a VC, again, a VC is a vendor contact. And that's somebody who's going to introduce you. And what's beautiful about this story is that James Buckley, Washington, D.C. eXp agent, didn't do anything before with estate liquidators. Contacts, gets one appointment, 2 days later, hits it off, and she says, let's do life together. Or how did the meeting end?
Yeah, so the meeting ended with her saying, I'm interested in networking together. I'll introduce you when there's an opportunity. Um, and 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 let's go to networking events together.
Introduce you to who? Who was she talking about?
Um, she she left it open, but introducing me to her clients, her like seller downsizing clients, and to probate attorneys.
Well, what happened this week with her?
The reason I'm in the car and not in my office is because I just left a listing appointment. She said, "Hey, I'm meeting with a prospective like downsizing estate sale client, and she's also looking to sell her home. Come with me, and we'll do a joint consult, a joint appointment." And so, apologies for being a few minutes late. I was just walking out her front door, um, and I'm down the street now. I'm not in front of her house, um, but it was great. There was amazing synergy. Um, I when I do listing appointments, I print a brochure that's looks really good and customized to the home. But I also put her into the team page and then have a full page for her and her services. Um, and you know, I didn't I didn't ask her for any business. I didn't say, hey, can you send me some business? I just when we met, I just asked her how I can support her and who I can introduce her to. And we clicked nicely. Um, and honestly, before I expected her to, she's bringing me on her appointments, which is
And it
really great.
wasn't, and it wasn't somebody probate, it's just somebody downsizing, selling all their stuff.
Correct.
And the seller said to her, do you know a realtor?
That's what she said to me. Yeah. The estate liquidator said she's asked for help downsizing uh and for a realtor.
Yeah, in my career, I probably got as much business from estate liquidators as I did from probate attorneys. Because estate liquidators work with people that are downsizing, moving to retirement homes. When I moved from St. Louis to Florida and I called an estate liquidator, if it didn't fit in my truck, I'm not moving it to Florida. So I just called an estate liquidator and said, get rid of everything except what fits in my F-150. That was that. So, and I, of course, sold my house. So estate liquidators are diamonds, everybody, and they're everywhere. They're in Minnesota, Mary. Ariel, I think you're in California, and John's in Orlando. Erica's, I think, in California, and agents, excuse me, they're everywhere. There's hundreds of estate liquidators, and it's not just probate. It's what James just said. It was just somebody downsizing, and beautiful. She said, "Let me take you on that consult," because she was doing what? What was she doing there? Estate liquidator at the house.
This particular homeowner is downsizing, and so she wants to sell her home, but stay local, move a little bit closer into near her work, and buy a condo. And so it's a listing and a buyer.
So a buy and a sell came out of one cold call to you know, the thing is, I'm okay with cold calls to estate liquidators and appraisers and things like that. But because what was the offer on the call? One more time, we'll take you back to the phone call and the sit down. So you called somebody cold and
Hmm.
said, "This is James. I'm a real estate agent." And what'd you say to her, the estate liquidator?
I'm trying to remember back. I think that I called her. Here, let me double check.
I gave you the script.
I know yeah, I know the script. I just can't remember if I spoke to her or if I sent her a video message. Let me go back to my
While you're looking for that, did you meet her at Starbucks? Where'd you meet her?
Yeah, so I found it. She didn't answer when I called, so I did a video, and the video basically said, "Hey Nina, I'm James Buckley. I head up the local chapter of a national organization that helps build probate business together. And so wanted to connect with you, learn about your business, how I can support you in your business, and how we can grow together." And so her response was, "Morning, James. Let's meet for coffee. Sounds great. Thanks for reaching out." Um, and so we did. We
Demographic, 30s, 40s, 50s.
50s, um, divorced. Yeah, she's 50s and divorced.
And she's been doing estate liquidation for 3 years, 30 years, or
Probably about 10 years,
okay.
10 to 15.
So she's still growing her business.
Hmm.
So she didn't call you, but she got the video message from you, and then she responds, and
That's right.
let's do this thing. And then you met her at Starbucks, or where'd you meet her?
At a coffee shop, not Starbucks, one that's a little higher end and like a nice environment to sit in.
Hmm. And how long was your meeting?
About an hour.
And during the meeting, you said you want to find out how to introduce her.
Yeah. So I asked her about her business. I asked her who she wants to be introduced to and what what type of business she wants to do more of. And how she would like to be introduced. And then I also worked on building the relationship with her, asked her about her, personal interests and family and things like that.
What can you tell us about Nina? Do you remember? Uh, she's divorced. You learned that.
Yep. She told me about her kids, and her career before estate sales. And she loves music. Dave Matthews Band, and she loves going to concerts, and she's got a couple of tattoos that are music related. Um, so
Led
yeah,
Zeppelin.
yeah, exactly. She had the Dave Matthews tattoo over here, um, and so that's what got us starting about talking about music.
Because I want to make sure your takeaway from what James is telling you here is that he knew no estate liquidators. He gets a phone call, gets a meeting with her within 2 days. He's making a friend. Are you guys hearing that? He's making a friend. She takes him on one of her first appointments that's available, and he may have a buy sell. Now, the question is this estate liquidator going to send James 7 to 10 referrals in a year? What happens then, I call that a bona fide account. The account got activated when you got your first deal. Just because you all know all these names, the account's not activated to get your first deal. So I have a question for you, James. Are you looking for a second estate liquidator? Have you backburnered estate liquidators? What do you think about the resource of estate liquidators?
What's great about estate liquidators is they can both introduce you to probate attorneys and they can be a source of business directly. And so, whereas an appraiser is more of a stepping stone relationship to a probate attorney or an estate liquidator. Estate liquidators, just like this appointment that I just left, they have direct business with homeowners that want to downsize.
If your future valuation of your business in 84 months, because Project 84, it's a countdown. You're like your 82nd month. You got two that have expired. And as we work on your business valuation, let's say it was $1 million in 84 months that you was like, I'm going to cash out of this business. How many estate liquidators do you think will make up your portfolio of vendor contacts? Because we all have to answer that question for ourselves. Is it one? Is it five? Is it 12? Because your vendor contacts, guys, are paralegals, appraisers, estate liquidators, title companies, and notaries. I interviewed a notary recently. It's an eXp agent. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, who do you know? And I thought, we all need to be contacting notaries because she goes, well, of course I know probate attorneys and title company people. And I mean, it's like, should we become notaries? Because of who we can meet. I know we should become golfers like John in Orlando and join the PGA. And people will come and ask you for golf lessons. So I'm going to go back to the question, James. As you look at your business valuation 84 months from now, part of your portfolio is Nina. 7 to 10 deals a year for the next 7 years. If you can get 7 to 10 deals, I'm going to.
Can you describe what it does?
An estate liquidator helps sell furniture and personal items when someone is selling a home, either for downsizing or because of the death of the owner.
I didn't mean to do that. I thought I would put it in the chat. Sorry. Thank you for answering. No, but so kind of like an estate sales guide. I mean, that's what we call them here. So I wasn't sure if that was exactly the same thing or not. They're the ones that go in and sell all the furniture, have the giant estate sale as opposed to a garage sale, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
So, they stage the home to make it look and feel like a pottery barn, for example. And then they put prices on things and people say, I want to buy this. And then they deliver the items after payment.
Okay. Yeah, we've always, at least my area, it's always been a estate sale person. I hadn't even heard the term liquidator like that. So that's cool. And then second question, when you said you did an AI search, were you just talking like on Google?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
And by the way, the estate salespeople get about 1/3. So if they sell $10,000 worth of stuff, they get about 33%. It's all negotiable in the industry, but it's around 1/3. If they make 100 grand, they get about 30 grand. So
Yeah, not bad.
a great introduction for you for an estate liquidator would be somebody who is downsizing. That's an individual lead, but a really good lead for an estate liquidator is a probate attorney that has all these deals, or a CPA whose clients are relocating out of state. Just keep thinking, my job is to get estate liquidators accounts going. Kind of what, James, you were talking to her at the cafe, and that is, how do I introduce you and who's a good introduction? Let them define it. And at what point did you ask her for business during your cafe meeting?
I didn't.
That's important to remember.
Quick question. What is our selling point to them? Like, how do we help out a liquidator other than selling their house?
Brian, do you want me to answer or should I?
Go for
it. So our value proposition for an estate liquidator is it's specific and then in general, you want to be a connector to help them grow their business. And so that can be your clients that are selling that may need to be downsizing. Maybe they're moving across the country and they don't want their personal items anymore, except for, a couple of small things. And then also to help them grow other sources of business by introducing them to probate attorneys. Probate attorneys are a big source of business for a lot of estate liquidators and estate sale folks.
For people getting divorced and they're going to downsize from 4,000 square feet to 1,800. Think if you're on the sales force of an estate liquidator. You're not a realtor. You're on the sales force for the estate liquidator. Your job is to bring her business. If you have, going back to the question, James, if you had 5 or 7 or 10 estate liquidators, it's to get them introduced to probate, introduced to divorce attorneys, families that are moving are harder to do than hard to find somebody a lead. but it's easier to find them an introduction who's sitting on a bunch of leads.
Right.
So 2 questions for you here, Patrick, excuse me, James, sorry about that.
It's okay.
And that is, how many estate liquidators do you think you're going to have in your portfolio? Because it's important to have a goal. We're all in business. Everybody's got to answer the same question. How many probate? How many divorce attorneys? How many estate liquidators? What do you think in your portfolio you're going to need to create that $1 million valuation?
Well, I mean, let's say you're getting seven sales from each person. I like Julie's answer, unlimited. You know, that's the right answer. But if you need to put a number on it, let's see. Just doing some quick math here.
Hey, Brian, while you think about that, if you want a $1 million valuation, what kind of revenue do you need to bring in every year?
It's a 1.7 multiple. Possibly next week, Tom, during our thoroughbred meeting here, we're going to show
Yep.
you that if an agent only made $53,000 a year from one account,
Right.
that's about $100,000. That's $100,000 business valuation.
Okay.
And so only 53 grand a year. If you have, it's 1.7, so you're worth 100 grand when you go to sell that one account, because that account's going to repeat every single year. So what are your quick off the cuff thoughts, James?
Yeah, so I need 4 accounts.
How'd you break that down?
Well, $1 million sale divided by that 1.7 multiple, it's 588,000. I divided that 588,000 is gross commission income, right? And so I divided that by $20,000.
Your average commission check?
Yeah, the average commission check. Maybe that's a little high, but you know, around there. And that gave me whatever it was. Let's see, 29 sales. And I divided that by 7 sales per account.
So
And
we're
that
being
gives,
conservative, only 7 sales per year from Nina or anybody else.
that's right.
And so so $1 million divided by if you were 1.7, if your commission is you're making 588,000 a year, believe it or not, guys, your business is worth $1 million, provided it's all from accounts, not from
Right.
family and friends, anything like that, because you can't sell your family and friends in your CRM. You could only sell what you can prove in your book of business. And we're going to have a Bob for you all, a book of business, a way you to track this. So later in life, when you go, I need to sell my business, you'll be able to have this book that you could justify to somebody else. Just like if you were taken over, like when I got the Deutsche Financial Services account in St. Louis, the realtors that had it wanted $100,000, but they had a book of business. They could prove they got how much business they did over 5 years. And I gave them $25,000 as a down payment. And the rest of the money I paid over time off the deals from the account. So this is real. Everybody here is either going to have $100,000 account when you go to sell it in the future, or possibly up to 2 million. We're interested in people at different levels. Where you going with this? And I just asked James kind of off the cuff, it was $1 million, what would it be? So Julie's got a question here, then we'll wrap up. How about other agents asking for a referral? Julie, can you elaborate on that? Asking for a referral.
I think Julie's question
Yeah, I was
was,
just gonna say, like, with eXp, we have, that like a Facebook, way to get a hold of everybody, and people just say, hey, does anybody know an estate sale in this area? An estate sale, company that you've used or whatever. So I've offered, we used one before and it worked out really great. We've only had one contact with a great estate sale person so far. But, and so then I just throw it out there. So, it's another agent looking for the same thing, but obviously I don't think they're on the same page as we are with this situation. Which is good. Do we keep this a secret, or do we keep this, do we say, hey, I got this great way of.
That's a great idea. Inside of eXp.
Right, the hub, right.
Just ask agents, I'm looking for a great estate liquidator.
Right.
But I don't think believe me, I want to bring this to the world. But in your interest in your market, you want all 17 estate liquidators to yourself, Julie.
Right. All right, so since I haven't really been paying attention before today, Tom's been on the side of talking to you mostly. So do we work this like a referral? Is that something you can coach us on later?
What you're saying, a referral?
Do we get some kind of a referral commission from them, or is it just they're giving us their clients? So that's how we get it.
Patrick?
Yeah, so to solidify that relationship, and not solidify it, but make it even stronger, it's great to have them get licensed or have a family member get licensed, so that, because that incentives change. eXp Realty is built on incentives, right? Wanting to do something and willing to be doing something is very different from doing something because you're going to get paid, or a family member is going to get paid. And so the ideal scenario is, for example, this estate liquidator having her daughter get licensed, or a family member get licensed. That way, on this sale and every other sale, I'm paying a referral fee. And I don't mind paying that referral fee because I know that that's going to supercharge the referrals that I'm getting.
As we wrap up, Julie, great question. Thanks for jumping on the call as well. I had a party, their son was unemployable. That was their words, that this guy could not hold a job. And she was a probate attorney. She was a estate salesperson. And I said, well, why don't you get your son licensed? I'll pay a referral fee for the rest of my career. Same thing with Commerce Bank. When Josiah, the guitar player, I said, Josiah, get a real estate license. Now, I could have not said that to him, but like James said, to solidify, to improve on, because I said, I can make your son's house payment every month. If you're giving me introductions, I'm getting listings. If he gets a 25% referral fee, I can pay for somebody's college tuition. I can help your retirement. You could buy a new car if you keep giving us introductions. Now, will they get licensed and sell real estate? It's never happened to me. None of them I'm just going to go for it. Paula, do you have a question?
Well, my question was, if you did make that recommendation, they did get their family member licensed, wouldn't the referrals from that person then go to the son, or are we kind of taking that liquidator, having her assign the work to her son with the expectation that they will continue to connect you with other VCs?
Well, the son in this case has a license, but it's inactive.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not doing real estate at all. They're just collecting it. And mom didn't want any of the money. Mom and dad didn't want any of the money, the estate liquidators. They just wanted their son to get steady paychecks so they can stop giving him money on their own.
I actually want
I know
to
that feeling.
respond to that as well. So if you have somebody that's getting licensed specifically to get referral fees, regardless of if they want to work the business, an estate liquidator is not going to recommend a new licensee because it will hurt their business. So there would be no reason for them to want to push anything through their son because they don't know what they're doing.
Correct. Other than they're cashing a check.
Exactly.
Yeah. Guys, as we're going to wrap this up, first of all, James, thanks for investing your time in other people here.
It's my pleasure.
It means a lot to everybody here. And if you guys go to, if you're not officially with us, go to project84.biz. And because we have a lot of guests on here that I've never met before. And so we'll have James back in the future, hearing how he's going. Next week, we're going to probably really break down what do you have to do to get a $100,000 valuation or a $2 million valuation. We're totally serious about this. In 84 months, you could sell your business. You don't have to, but you could sell your business, but you gotta, it's all built off of accounts. And that's what we woke up this morning thinking about, right, James? I mean,
That's right. That's right.
What you got the last word here? What's your next step? What are you going to be doing next?
Next step is to call more estate liquidators, and speak to more appraisers to be introduced to probate attorneys and divorce attorneys.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing your ongoing story.
Looking forward to
and then-
sharing.
Thanks, James.
And we'll get
Thank
other
you.
people on here as well that can share. All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Thanks, James.
Bye.
Thanks.